Meditation sucks. It's stressful. Have you tried mindfulness meditation? It's all about bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. But sometimes the present moment sucks. Like when your brother forces you to go start the barbecue, but like you've been scared of propane tanks ever since you were little because your grandma told you they explode very easily. Or classic, what about when your boyfriend nubs you for another chick and you want to strangle her? Or you want to try to be in the present moment, but you can't because your mind is going to places of explosions or strangling, you know? So have you ever tried meditation? Have you struggled with it? Are you curious about it, but you think it might be hard? Well, you should stick around because we are going to talk about why the stresses of meditation are sometimes good for us. I want to start by Reddit. I found a Redditor really summed up the challenges of meditation that I personally relate to a lot. And so let's see what they say and let me know if you've also experienced any of this. Well, first, let me explain a little bit more in detail what meditation is because they talk about how they can't do it, okay? So hi, I'm Dalaina. I'm a comedian and mindfulness meditation coach. I'm a mindfulness meditation coach. I used to be medicated, not at the moment. And the basics of meditation, very simple. If you're sitting, you're going to sit upright but not uptight. I'm a little bit relaxed. So if I were meditating, I would sit up. I would hold myself up, upright but not uptight, because I don't want to fall asleep. I also don't want to be too rigid. And I would bring my attention to my breath. I would breathe normally. And every time that I found my mind wandering, I would just label it thinking and come back to my breath. And you just rinse and repeat. Now, the instruction's pretty simple, but it's pretty hard to do if you've tried it. Maybe you've noticed, or maybe you're just like the special Buddha sorcerer type. But for most of us, because of the way that our brains are wired, I don't know. We think something like 60,000, or maybe that's super low. And science tells us we think so much. And also, we're wired to have a tendency, a bias towards negative thinking. We're always our brain's trying to protect us, seek out all the things that could go wrong to give us a chance to avoid those things. So we have a lot of negative thoughts on top of just having thoughts. So when you sit to meditate, be ready. Those thoughts are going to come in. And the point is to bring your attention back to your breath and kind of just not get attached to the thoughts, not get wrapped up, not follow them and add things onto them, not act out of them. Like if I have a thought, I want to strangle my ex's new girlfriend, I don't, catch a train and go find her and do it. So we're just watching the thoughts. So that's just kind of the basics. And so I want to tell you what this Redditor said. They sum it up well. They say, I meditated since I was 16. I'm now 20, but I stopped about 4 weeks ago. I always had huge escapist tendencies, relaxing while losing myself in a book, then in video games, and to a degree, drugs. Wow, it starts so innocent, books, a little bit more naughty, video games, and then drugs. That can happen, right? These are the only times when I feel completely content. These are the times when I'm not aware of myself, when I completely immerse in another world where I live the story of someone else. I would go as far as to say I lose any ego in these activities. I have trouble deliberately relaxing otherwise in day-to-day life. Okay, so can you relate at all to this experience of sometimes feeling like it's better to not be yourself, to, oh God, there's a cat in here. Threw me out of the present moment. Actually brought me back into the present moment, just watching the cat. It's also being in the present. Do you guys know Eckhart Tolle? He's all about the power of now. That's his book title. And he talks about how pets really bring us into the present moment. And I agree. It's usually because they're super annoying and they just kind of snap you into it. Like Like, stop chewing that, get down. So coming back to the human experience though of this guy, I guess I have could be a girl, I don't know. Yeah, could be a chick. So they say that they almost feel better when they don't feel like themselves, when they're wrapped up in a story, watching a show, being a character, or kind of like if they're intoxicated on some kind of drug, they're sedated. When they say, oh God, let's let this kitty free. Check out the bunny butt on this one. Bye, Freddie. He's born that way, by the way. We didn't nub his tail for looks. So yeah, when this person says, I would go so far as to say I lose any ego in these activities, I think what they mean is their conscious sense of like themselves, control, their day-to-day concerns, because they also go on to say that the thing is, when I meditate regularly, all those problems, schedules, tasks, and things that I'm required to do push into my mind, and I can't simply let them go because of my increased awareness. So it's like, because meditation, you're not doing anything else, so you're almost more aware of all of your crappy thoughts. I'm judging them. You're not supposed to judge them really, but like, you get it, whatever. Because of let's repeat the Redditor. Because of my increased awareness, I can't simply sit in my chair and relax, because I know that all these little duties and responsibilities are real and waiting for me. I completely forget how to push these things aside in meditation. So let me know if you can relate to this. I can certainly relate to this. That's partly why I trained to become a meditation coach, because I like really needed the practice. Because all my problems, thoughts about my problems, schedules, tasks, everything that is like an external thing in my life that I got to do, that's one level of it. My mind loves to make an internal also dimension of problems and schedules and everything. It magnifies them. It acts like it's, if I have to get up to catch a train at 6 a.m. the next morning, okay, that's one thing. At 6 a.m., that thing will happen. I got to do it. It's unpleasant because I got to get up at 4, for example, or something. But all the evening before, from 5 p.m. onwards, I'll be like, okay, I got to set the alarm, and then I'm going to be anxious that my alarm's not going to go off. So now I'm worried about that external thing in my mind, having thoughts about it and sensations, and maybe I'm starting to be irritable with my partner if I still have one, if he didn't leave me. For the other girl I want to strangle. Now I'm having all these anxious thoughts about it. So I can't let it go, the thing I have to do. The responsibility. So like my ego is worried about losing control. And so the question is why would one meditate if all of it seems to do is to quiet out the rest of the world, so that your problems can just be amplified? And firstly, that seems very unpleasant, stressful, sucky, but isn't it bad to ruminate? Like, isn't it just bad for us then to meditate? That's the question, okay? And I love this response from the other Redditor, and I will build on it. But first, let's see what they say. Meditation, they say, is not about relaxing, though that can be a side effect. If you are simply looking, they say, for a relaxation technique, perhaps you should pursue some of the other avenues you mentioned. Okay, that sounds like a little bit sassy in a way, the way they said it, but if we just take it at face value, I think it's very useful. They also say, meditation is about cultivating awareness of your mind-made activity and learning to observe your thoughts, feelings, emotions, urges without becoming attached to them, without getting swept away by them. Through a consistent practice, you are able to see the mental constructs you put on reality. That's a lot to chew on that part, but let's just finish the quote up a bit. And how so those mental constructs you create, all the extra thinking, me worrying about missing the train, is now that thought is coloring my current reality the evening before. And most of us just follow your mind, they write, pulls and pushes you around. And most of us just follow it without question. Meditation, like that's not good. That's not good to be just yanked around. It's like your mind is a puppy and it's untrained and just like at every potential stimulus or anything that it possibly wants, any urge, it just follows it. That's not, we want a cure for that, and this person says meditation is the cure for that. So it's interesting. So I think that there's a common expectation that meditation should be relaxing. If we go in it with that expectation, we're often going to be disappointed, because meditation is more like training a puppy. Puppies are super cute. Minds, like a mind can be cute. They're super amazing, but they're very annoying the way that they yin yang and just go in whatever direction, and like, you know, you've got all these complexes or like trigger points from because of your past, some of the things you don't even know how it got, why you have these thought patterns and tendencies. So meditation is about, it's kind of like training a puppy. It's about cultivating awareness, like the other Redditor said. And it's kind of like, let's use these metaphors, training a puppy and going to the gym. Or like, it's not, both of these are work, they're effort, but the payoff, it's this much more holistic sense of payoff. When you go to the gym, you get it, like say, or you go for a run, you get a runner's high, but it also just, it has all these subtle effects in your day-to-day. Your body has more muscle, more oxygen flowing. You're just going to be in a subtly better mood throughout the day. If you train a puppy, it's a lot of work up front, but as that puppy matures into an adult dog, it's going to be more pleasant to be around, rather than, you know, chasing every car and stressing you out, and barking all the time. You know, you'll be able to take it to a nice patio cafe and it will sit quietly beside you at your feet. It'll be a companion for you when you go for walks, and it will comfort you. This is the opportunities that are presented to you by meditating with your own mind. You can become more friends. You get to know it, get to know its kind of weaknesses and its strengths, and it's going to pay off for the people who hang out with you, because you're not going to be acting so much like a untrained puppy and reacting all the time. Say like you're sitting on that patio with your boyfriend and you think he takes a look at another girl walking by. You're not going to snap at him like a puppy, like an untrained puppy trying to bite a ball, a treat, a bone, a steak walking by. That's good. You're going to be better to be around. You're going to feel more of an equilibrium all the time, because look at okay, so the definition, let's just be clear. The definition of relaxation, which again, I think it's a common conception that meditation is supposed to be relaxing or about the goal of relaxation. This is the definition. Relaxation is the state of being free from tension and anxiety. That's the basic definition, Oxford Languages definition. In the more elaborate psychology one, so it's an emotional state of low tension in which there's an absence of arousal, particularly from negative sources such as anger, anxiety, and fear. Sometimes that's great. Like if you get lost in a show, occasionally in moderation, maybe you partake in some kind of intoxicants like alcohol or whatever's legal where you are, get a little buzzed from something. And in moderation, that's kind of like, it can be super relaxing for a little bit. You get a massage, that's really relaxing. You go for a walk in nature, that's relaxing, but that's just not all of life. Some of life is stressful situations that have tension just by nature of the human experience and what they are. For example, someone you love is in the hospital. Maybe they're in hospice. It is human, it's normal to feel the tension, have some anxiety, have mixed emotions. I don't think our goal should really be to be relaxed, to be completely free of the feeling of tension and anxiety. Meditation can help us be less reactive, but sometimes it can also just help us to be strong, stable, to be able to process, to just feel anxiety and grief and tension of all kinds. Sometimes we just need like a therapist and we like really need someone to hold our hand. I'm not saying meditation is a cure for all of life's problems. Actually, should make that clear. It's a lot more about being able to be in the present moment. But if you have like severe trauma or PTSD, or just you're going through a really tough time in the present and you need some extra help, a therapist, friends, community, that's all really good. Meditation and mindfulness is like an extra tool. There might be some people who are like really purists about mindfulness, where they're trying to detach from suffering or emotions and the impermanence of human experiences and just letting things go, letting people go. But I guess from my perspective, I am much more of the mindset that mindfulness can be about having a certain level of detachment, because you have this awareness that, yeah, you have good experiences, relaxing experiences, challenging experiences, and you're kind of capable of being present to all of them with some degree, a little bit of detachment and non-judgment. Yeah, my family members in the hospital. I wish I could change this. I can tell I have these thoughts and feelings, but mindfulness is helping me just feel the feelings and accept what's going on. I don't feel completely relaxed. I don't feel completely detached, but I'm also not just completely thrown by the experience. I'm not, trying to repress the feelings because I don't like how it feels, or I'm not lashing out on other people. I'm not just thinking all about what's going to happen in the future when this person is gone and like all the things I wish I could have changed in the past. It's actually human. You probably will have some of those thoughts. But mindfulness can help you just notice, like, man, I'm having a lot of those thoughts, but I also just kind of want to be here in the here and now, realizing, like, I'm having part of the human experience. This is a moment where I'm feeling pain and sadness. I'm feeling those feelings right now. It's fine. I cry watching anything. Like, man, I was watching The Iron Giant with my niece the other day. Holy moly, I was bawling so hard. But I'll cry at every like Disney movie from my era, like from the 80s and 90s and stuff. Yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts though, just kind of about like being present during challenging situations, meaning it's not always about relaxation. But the thing is, so just like when you train a dog, over time, it's more relaxing to be with that dog. So meditation I see as like it's like the practice game. When you're a tennis player and you have a game coming up, you put the reps in a controlled environment where you take the time to work on certain skills. Meditation is like working on the skill of mindfulness, and it's like a workout. You're cultivating awareness. It's cultivating. That's like work. You're doing something. There's some effort involved, so that you have that muscle memory developed, that when it's game time, when it's the game of life out there and everything, you can't control the factors. You have some muscle memory of being able to be a little bit less reactive, have a little bit more response time, and just soak in the present moment a little bit more. So relaxation might be a side effect. Sometimes you are going to feel more relaxed because of it, but either way, I think you're going to feel more even-keeled. And sometimes even-keeled means being able to, I think, hold the tension and respond to tense situations, but with, a little more stoicism, or just like not being too emotional while being able to feel your emotions. It's like strong to be able to feel your emotions. Does that make sense? Please discuss in the comments. So yeah, I think it's fair to like go in with the expectation that over time, just like exercising a lot, you get stronger, you get like you put in all this work to exercise, and then sometimes you can get in a flow state. If you get good at tennis because you put in all the work to practice, you might get in a flow state. It feels like less effort. It kind of feels more relaxing, but all this work went into it before you got there. Why I'm motivated by it? Because I love that there's science on it. So even when I feel like I have a certain meditation day, I try to do, I was doing 40 minutes a day. Now I'm doing 20 because I'm doing other kind of journaling practices and stuff with that other 20 minutes. I still often, like, I don't enjoy it. I feel like it's hard. But I know science says that your brain changes. Your amygdala shrinks. That's the stress center. Your singular something cortex, let me remind myself, posterior cingulate cortex which controls a rumination and stuff. It grows. So I think you have like more control over where your mind is and not letting it wander so much if you don't want. I don't want that. And it's my personal experience that after like 3 months or so, I noticed that, for example, when I would wake up in the middle of the night, usually I get anxious looping thoughts, I was finding myself able to focus more back on my breath and fall back asleep easier. So that would be my recommendation. Just get your own experience. Like, don't take it from me, don't take it from anybody else. Meditation, check it out. Is it hard for you? My guess is that it will be to some extent, but look in your own life. You might start to see benefits after a while. And if you need an extra kick in the pants, motivation, when you're not feeling it on the day-to-day, look at some of the science. A lot of it's, like correlations, but I'll link one study. There was a BBC journalist who did mindfulness meditation of the same type that I coach and that I do, very similar, where after 3 months, they scanned her brain before and after the brain scans, smaller amygdala, larger cingulate cortex thingy-majigger. So I hope that that's meditating, meditative and aspiring to meditate. And if not, let me know why you don't want to, what's going on in your life. I don't know if you want to vent about it or something, why you don't want to meditate at this time. That's cool too. Let me know what else you'd want to see in future videos, anything to elaborate on, or things. Constructive feedback is also welcome. Just please be kind to my feelings. And I'm creating videos based on what listeners say. So chime away. Okay, thank you for being here. Mindful. I almost forgot, you guys. I made a collage based on the human experience that Redditor is going through and that I relate to. Ta-da! Okay, so it's gonna be hard to see, but whatever. There's some books, because remember that person was addicted to books, which I just find so cute, and because this seems like it would be a good thing, but too much of a good thing can also be bad. So this person I'm pretending is addicted to martial arts books, and they want to escape. So there's their air balloon, but escaping is actually just trapping us from ourselves. So here's fences. What are they called? Chain links. It says no. It says combat. This person isn't in. They're getting kind of whipped by their resistance to their own mind. They don't want to. Remember, they said that they have all their schedule, their problem, their thoughts. It just feels like they can't let it go, even though, hey, it's not exactly about letting it go, as being able to watch it and experience it. But they're not there yet. So it's no. Let's pretend that they're addicted to lace panties. And these are some kind of happy drug weed. And that's not actually good for them after all. But this is a tornado. It's hard to see, but it's a picture sideways. Yeah, it looks not like one. Okay, so this person needs some salvation. Imagine you had a t-shirt with that cross on it. It'd be so cool. And things are heating up with this peppers. Okay, these are protective safety glasses in case you're the type of person who, you know what, you need even more protection. You need a therapist. Mindfulness meditation is just not going to be quite appropriate to you at the moment. So we're going to be fluid. It's okay. You need extra. Water represents emotion. You might find a therapist. What is this? Halo says? It says, I won't chase the ball into the street. If it loves me, it'll come back on its own. So that both represents the person who needs to just let meditation go. My nails aren't super clean. They need some other help. But also it represents this person who is actually ready to start the journey of being present with themselves, with their thoughts. And they're going to accept, hey, they don't need to chase every thought. If it's important, they will trust that they will respond to it in life. The thing will come back to them. They will know when to respond to that ball coming back to them, and they will take charge. They're also doing other things that are effortful, like drinking carrots and beets, and all of this positive self-development that is some work. It is some effort, like playing tennis, like training your puppy. It's giving them a new perspective. These are sunglasses. They're seeing the world differently, and the world is reflecting back on them, and their selves are changing, something like that. Look, it's me, not actually, but I'm putting in some work. Thistles are bitter, but they're good for us. So let's pretend that's me. I'm smelling it. It's poking me, but I am strong, and it's bringing me more romance, the equilibrium I'm creating in my life. It's chilling me out. I have a partner now. I'm a bunny, and I have a medal. I'm strong with the fist. Less chains, more water. Water represents fluidity. I can go with the flow. And now I've turned into a lady. Me and this Redditor is better, it says, and presence. And now lace bra, but with this great quote. It's in the balance of things. Somehow this makes sense. Let's pretend. This is her quote. She says, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." Let's pretend that's about being mindful. It's like you're really soaking up the present moment. It has everything you need.